The laws of the heydays made provision for some unspeakable acts to exist. Some such laws included the prohibition of interracial relations and the movement and settlement of blacks in areas designated for whites only. It was a divide and rule policy inherited by the founding fathers of Namibia, and to address this backward policy, it needed their urgent and meticulous intervention. The Namibian Constitution establishes the rule of law. This means that all people and institutions are governed by laws that must be applied and enforced fairly. Justice Minister Yvonne Donsap and former Ombudswoman Beans Kavangas joined Daniel Nadunya on NBC's Wheels of Justice.
It was also about segregating so that you don't have the kind of unity that we find today. So that was your policy, and then that policy was buttressed by a myriad of pieces of legislation that were advocating for that segregation. So, you know, if you were talking about Bantu education, there was a law that supported it.
Leading up to independence, the Namibian Constitution was the biggest project undertaken by the leadership of the day. The aim was to abolish some laws and to cripple apartheid, bringing it to its knees.
And, you know, what you then needed to do is to make sure that your constitution is supreme, so everything is subject to that, because you're now also coming not from a constitutional supremacy, you're coming from a parliamentary supremacy. And it's one of the things that you don't want to go back to as a country, is that you don't want a parliament that decides, because that's how apartheid was run. The moment parliament was uncomfortable about something that was happening in the country, both in Namibia and South Africa, they would simply pass a law to address or to deal with that.
But Namibia has kept some of the laws before March 21 of 1990. And the question that begs an answer is, are these laws in unison with the living document, the Constitution?
In our Constitution, there's always been a provision that whatever laws we have inherited will remain valid to the extent that they comply with the Constitution. And it was very important to do that because, you have to provide for a transition and not leave a vacuum in the legal system.
Some of the laws have seen a total abolishment, while some have seen amendments imposed by an act of parliament or by a competent court. Emil Seibeb, NBC News, Windhoek.